Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Addison, now Richardson. Since I recently got married, I am a 25-year-old law student who also works full-time, but I absolutely love makeup. I have ever since I was a kid, and I love playing around with new products, but I have a tried and true look that is just my go-to. I love this look. I'm normally running on a tight schedule, but I still love to feel put together. And when I look good, I feel good. So this is that look that I go to every single time I know I need a good, beautiful, bronzy, glowy look. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into today's video. In order for your base and just your makeup in general to look good, you have to prep your skin the right way. So today I'm going to even start with that and show you how I prep my skin before I do my makeup. Depending on the level of coverage or what kind of look I'm going for that day, I tailor my skin prep to it. So I'm going to show you what I specifically do when I'm doing this look. First, I'm going to start with the Bioma Hydrating Milky Toner. Just for easy use for you guys, everything will be linked down below, and I will pop all the prices and stuff on the screen so you guys can see. This just adds a lot of hydration to your skin, and as you can see, that's already made my skin pretty glowy. And I love this product. It just sinks right in. Next, another affordable option, and thank you to Shelby Ann who put me on to these. This is the Holy Hydration Thirst Burst Drops, and I just take a few pumps of these, just about like that much, rub it in, and place that on the skin as well. I'm really just looking for my base and my skin to be super glowy, because that's going to help with makeup application. It's going to help things not go on patchy or blotchy or anything like that. So you want to just make sure you're pressing all of this into your skin. And I'm not sure you can see because the camera's kind of forgiving, but like I have a few breakouts as well. So you can see how this routine helps to kind of cover them up. Next, because I am needing a little bit more hydration because it is so dry here in Tennessee. It's summer, it's hot. I'm going in with the CeraVe PM Facial Moisturizer. I only like the PM version. I don't like the AM. I think I've said that a million times, but they've just put something in the PM version that's just better, and that's all I can say. This right here is the most important step. This is sunscreen. This is the Summer Fridays Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Mineral Milk Sunscreen. This is probably my third or fourth bottle of this. One, it adds an amazing level of hydration and glow, but it is a great sunscreen. I take this when I go to the beach, when I am at the pool, anywhere and everywhere. I wear it every single day, and I never ever burn. It's amazing. And I love that it's a thin consistency. It clearly does not leave a white cast, and I'm fairly tan right now. It is a fan favorite. It is consistently my favorite sunscreen. I haven't found any other ones that I even remotely touch being that good. Last but not least, I am just gonna pop on some lip balm so our lips can be hydrating as we do the rest of the routine. So while I'm letting my skin prep kind of dry down, you need to make sure that this is fully dry. That way it's not pilling underneath your makeup. I've never had any problems with these four products pilling with each other or when I put makeup on top, and they just work really, really well together. But while that's drying down, what I typically like to do is go ahead and do my brows. That way it's just this part is done, and if I make any errors, I can take a makeup wipe and kind of clean them up. But most importantly, it allows this to dry down because this is pretty still like tacky. So now I'm going to go in with my brows. I'm not going to show you guys because I feel like brows are like super personal, but these are the two products that I use. I use the Rare Beauty Flexible Lifting Gel, and this is just in the clear. And then I use NYX Professional Makeup Micro Brow Pencil in shade Brunette. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly just do my brows, and then I'll be right back. Okay, now we can get started on the base. My brows are filled in. I just lightly filled them in a little bit on the ends. I don't really do anything up front because I do have naturally thicker brows. And then I just clean them up quickly with some concealer. Nothing too exciting, but if you would like a more in-depth like eyebrow tutorial, then just let me know, leave a comment down below. But now let's get into the base. I have used several different base products that I really love, but I've lately been on a kick of using the Kylie Cosmetics Skin Tint Blurring Elixir, and I'm in shade 4.5 Warm Neutral, and I've really been liking this. I absolutely love the packaging. I think it's really cute. One of my favorite creators, Katie Fawn, is the one who uses this literally every single day, and I'm obsessed with her skin and how it looks. She is the definition of like classy in my opinion, and I absolutely love how her skin looks every single day. I'm just gonna take a bigger brush. This is from Huda Beauty. This is their face base brush. There's not a number, that's just what it's called. And I'm just gonna spread this out. If you notice, I don't use a lot, like at all. And I just spread this out. This isn't like a really super high coverage moment. And I absolutely love that because I'm not a super high coverage base person. I just kind of want it to look like my skin but better. I've been using this for a couple of weeks, and I did, if you saw the short, I did give a little review on how I've been liking it, and so far so good. I will say I do think they need a bit of a better shade range. I'm not totally impressed with the amount of shades and stuff that they have. Now that I've lightly blended it out with my brush, I'm gonna go in with my sponge. And again, thank you, Katie Fawn. She turned me on to these. These are the Super Soft Paw Paw Wonder Blender, and I'm obsessed with these. It comes with 6 in a pack, and I believe that these are less than $10 for this entire pack. But I'm just gonna take this on a damp sponge, and I'm just going to press all of this into the skin. This is one of the most important steps. If you're not blending this out completely, then everything else on top is not gonna go on correctly. It's not gonna be a good finished product. You need to make sure you're taking your time with each step. Okay, my base is all blended in, and I'm really happy with the coverage and the overall look. Like I said, I don't go for anything too crazy, and there's a very minimal layer on my skin currently, but I definitely want to cover up some of like my little blemishes and just kind of even out my skin tone. That way it all looks like it's one color. Now we are going to go in and bronze the skin. This is the LYS Cream Bronzer in shade Motivate. I'm not one to put it on my face. I will generally either put it on the back of my hand or just get it right off the brush, either with a beauty blender, or I take one of my tried and true brushes. This is the It Cosmetics. And I want to say, I'm pretty sure this is the number 7 brush. It's no longer on there because I've had it for so long. But I will take it off just like this, get it on the brush, and then work it into the back of my hand, and then apply it to the skin. That way I'm not taking it from this and disrupting everything we have underneath it. So again, just going to take this, work it into my hand, and then apply to the skin. Now, I love bronzer, so I apply a generous amount. You can apply however much you want to apply, but again, we are going for a very bronzy, glowy look, so I am leaning into that. And as you can see, it just blends out so beautifully. I've used this for so many years because I also feel like this shade is most favorable to my skin tone. I feel like a lot of the times cream products like this can lean red or orange, whereas I feel like this one has truly brown undertones, and it's warm, but it doesn't make me look like an Oompa Loompa. So we appreciate that. That's what we're going for. Okay, now I'm ready to do my nose. I've blended everything else out, and I'm loving the way that it's looking. So again, I'm just gonna take, this is the reason I love this brush so much, and it's perfect for doing this exactly. I'm gonna take this small end of the brush, and I'm gonna dip right into here. And again, I'm really gonna work that out on the back of my hand. And then I'm gonna go down the sides of my nose. Now I'm making this where it comes up through here, so it looks like it just connects to the socket of my eye. And again, we're gonna clean this up, but the point is to just get the sides nice and bronzed. And then I like to put just a little on the tip of my nose, some right across the bridge of my nose. Okay, next is cream blush, and I have several because I absolutely love blush. Blush is one of my, it's probably like my second favorite thing. So I have the Patrick Ta Duo Blush in She's That Girl. I have the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewy Flush in Berry Flush. And then I also have Huda Beauty's Cream Blush in Strawberry Cream. I think today I'm going to go in with She's That Girl by Patrick Ta. As you can see, she's well loved. And I'm just going to take my sponge and I'm going to work the product into it. And then also just work that out on the back of my hand. That way it's all evenly coated on here before we put it on the face. And I'm just going to pat that in onto the skin. On a day like today, where I'm doing like my go-to look, I typically switch between the Patrick Ta and the Huda Beauty because these colors are similar but they're different. Like same but different. This one's definitely a pinkier, flushier tone, whereas this one's a little bit more purple, which I love. And I also love that this one has duo, so I already have the cream and the powder together. And again, you just want to work that in. And because we are going to go in with concealer, I typically go in pretty heavy-handed with this just to make sure that it doesn't get covered up later. But going in with concealer after allows you to clean up and fix things if you did go a little bit too crazy or if it's just needing to be toned down a bit. We're gonna go in with concealer. Now, I place my concealer in pretty strategic positions. These are the two concealers I use the most. The reason being, these are the two concealers I own. This is pretty much it. I either use the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum, and this is in shade Light, or I use the Makeup by Mario Concealer in shade 200. This one is really close to my skin tone. This is what I use generally on the other parts of my face. Like I'll take this one to clean up down here because it matches my skin tone pretty well. This is going to be lighter. I'm going to use this to clean up these areas and just like around my nose and stuff. I'll put a little dot just like that. This is the concealer placement for the shade that's not super far off from my actual skin tone. And then for underneath my eyes, I'm put one pump on the back of my hand. This is probably honestly too much, but you know, whatever. And I'm going to work this into the brush, and I'm working a good amount into there, and I'm gonna put this on my eyes. Now this is a Sephora Pro Concealer 71 brush, and I'm gonna use this, and again I'm just working it into the back of my hand underneath my eyes. Now I'm gonna kind of load it up under there, and I'm gonna let it sit, and this is going to help it dry down a little bit, and this is actually going to help with coverage. The longer you can let your concealer sit, the better your coverage is gonna be. And I'm just gonna put a little bit down the bridge of my nose, a little bit over here, and we're just cleaning up that blush and bronzer. And I'm just gonna bring some down and around just like this, and I'm gonna sweep this out just like that. Sweep it out, and it's gonna help lift up the eyes, which is what we wanna do. We don't wanna drag them down. So, I mean, I didn't use all of it, but I used a good amount. In this case, I'm gonna take my sponge and I'm gonna blend out where we just wanted to like clean up underneath the bronzer and blush. So I'm just gonna take my beauty blender, make sure all the hair's out of the way. And I'm just gonna blend this in to help clean that up. We're not wanting a harsh line, but it's just gonna help kind of make everything look a lot more cohesive and just blended. Okay, I've got everything except for underneath my eyes blended out. And I'm now going to take my beauty sponge and I'm just gonna very lightly go down the center of my nose. And as you can see, that just added just like a peak of brightness. And then I'm going to very lightly blend out what's underneath my eyes. Having a light hand here is very key because we don't want to disrupt everything else that's underneath. but we're just wanting to add a little bit of coverage underneath the eyes. And as you can see, that concealer just does a wonderful job. There is the concealer all blended out. I think it's really brightened. It has kind of lifted the face. And now we have all of our cream products on. And I can't lie, it's eating like it does every time. Okay, now we are done with all of our cream products. I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. So I'm just going to spray my face down with this, and we're going to again blend everything together. And then I'm just going to take our damp beauty blender again, and I'm just going to press everything into the skin. I want to make sure that everything is getting along. Now this is a soft glam moment. People are going to look at you and know you have makeup on. This is not an every girl or everyday makeup look, clean girl aesthetic, but this is my go-to look. Once you've blended out the rest of your face, I'm now going to go to my under eyes because we're going to get ready to set it with powder. Before you set it with powder, there's no such thing as a creaseless concealer. It doesn't exist yet. Okay, it can say creaseless. There's lines under there. There's fine lines. It's really hard to create something that isn't going to crease, especially if you're not going in directly with powder. So what you're going to want to do is take your beauty blender, pinch it down, and get in there and make sure that there are no creases. Now I'm going to lightly set. I'm going to take a Sephora 79 brush. I'm going to dip in. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish in shade Fair Pale. And I am just going to lightly dust. This is a light set. This is just meant for it not to move. That's it. So now we're going to do the other side. Pinch it, blend out those creases. And then we're going to do a very light set. I find that when I do this, I've now set my underneath my eyes. Okay, so my battery died while I was in the middle of doing this and I didn't realize it. What I did was I showed you guys, I first lightly set with the Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder, and then I went in with the Easy Bake Huda loose powder with an Amazon powder puff, and I just did a light bake underneath my eyes, and I'm gonna let this set. So this is in shade Cherry Blossom, by the way, and I'm just gonna let this set. And right now we're gonna go in and do a really simple eye look that you can pretty much do with anything, but I am gonna go in with the Makeup by Mario's Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palette. And I'm just going to take, these are the eyeshadow brushes that I have. They are literally from the original James Charles collection with Morphe. And so I'm just going to take a gigantic, really fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with, I believe this is EM8. And it's just this really light, like taupey color. And I'm just going to do this while I have this bake underneath, so if there is any fallout, I could just wipe it away. And I'm just going to run this through the crease. And I'm not doing anything crazy, but this is a very like bronzy look, so I just want to make sure that the eyes are matching everything else. Okay, so that's what we're working with, literally with just one shade. I'm going to take a slightly denser brush, and I'm going to grab this one up here. It kind of leans a little purpley, but I'm just going to take literally the tiniest bit, and I'm going to place that just on the outer V. And this is going to lay down just like a little bit of a transition shade, because the last shade we're going to use is a deeper brown. And I just don't like going from like a super light color to a super dark color without having some form of transition. Then finally, I'm going to take this much more dense brush. This is a Morphe M506. And this is a really small, densely packed brush. This is the very first brush that we used, and here's this one, so you can see the difference. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the final shade. I believe this is EM12. I'm going to tap into here and dust off all the excess, and this is going to stay strictly near my lower lash line and in the outer V. And we're just going to deepen this up a little bit. It's okay if it looks a little bit crazy like that because we're gonna go back in and blend it out. But right now I'm just laying down the color. Now we're gonna go back with this same fluffy brush. I'm not gonna put any product on it, and I'm going to blend all of that out with whatever is remaining on the brush. Okay, boom. Super simple, bronzy, smoky eyeshadow look. 3 different shades and we're done. Now we're gonna move on to bronzer. I'm not gonna brush away this bake quite yet. I'm gonna let it sit there just a little bit longer, but I am gonna go in with the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzer in light medium, and I'm actually taking this on a Makeup by Mario brush. This is his, I believe this is F4. This is like his most popular brush, and it's dual-ended, and this side I use for blush and this side I use for bronzer. This is the larger side. I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna coat my brush and knock off all that excess, and I'm gonna start tapping this in the same areas we put the cream bronzer. Again, this shade is perfect in my opinion. I absolutely love it. It's so buttery. It blends so well, and it's not orange, it's not red, it's perfect. I'm obsessed with this. And I'm just gonna add this down here. And you wanna make sure you take this back into your hairline and back to the ears. And if you notice, I'm not like rubbing it, I'm tapping it in all of the places that I'm wanting it to go. Now down here, this is, I do not like a harsh jaw contour or bronzer or anything like that. So I just take really, I'm barely touching my face. I'm really far down on the brush, and I'm just feathering this on my jawline and then bring it down the neck. I see a lot of people forget this, and I don't know why, because you don't want your makeup to stop right here. Like, it needs to keep going. Okay, now I am gonna take a really big fluffy brush that is clean. I never put any product on this. I just go like this to knock off whatever's on there. And I'm going to brush away what's underneath my eyes. If you saw my short where I did my little baby Ulta haul, then you will know that I did get the Dior blush. This is in shade Rosy Glow Pink, or 001 Pink. And I absolutely love this shade. I feel like the true color is better if I hold it back here. This is just a really, really, really pale, pretty Barbie pink. Now, I like combining this with the cream of this, but I also just love using this duo and going in with the powder in here. I think that's what I'm gonna go in with today, but I do typically like just go back and forth. I'm gonna take the same F4 brush. I'm gonna dip into here and coat my brush and tap a lot of it off. And then I'm gonna focus it on the apples of my cheek and then kind of bring it up towards my temple. Then I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and I'm just going to lightly, really lightly go over all this and just kind of dust off whatever is being a little bit too loud. And I do love taking just kind of like whatever is left on the brush, hitting the top of the forehead, the bottom of the chin. Now going back to the eyes for literally like a split second, I'm gonna take that same small brush and I'm gonna mix the lighter taupe shade and this brown together, tap off a lot of the excess, and I'm just gonna hit the lower lash line just to make sure that is all super cohesive. I have this ancient eyelash curler. I don't even know where it's from. I don't know who makes it. It's no longer, it doesn't have anything on it. She's been through things. One of my favorite techniques is I don't just go to the base, and I can't remember where I saw this, but it is game changer. You go to the base and then you slide up and you do about halfway in the middle, and then you slide up one more time and you do the ends, and it just is crazy the difference that makes. It's insane. And I've noticed that they hold a curl for a lot longer, and I normally just take my fingers, run it across so they kind of separate. I'm gonna go in with the Lancome. This one works really good and it's super black, which I love. I'm not gonna go back in the tube, just whatever's left on there. I kind of just hit the lower lash line. Now, for my favorite step, lips. My favorite brand is Makeup Forever. Their Artist Color Pencils. I think I have every shade. 10 out of 10, this is the best lip liner on the market right now, period. They're creamy, you can use them wherever, you're not just on your lips, you can literally use them all over your face. 10 out of 10, would recommend. My favorite shade right now though, it's actually the Say lip liner in Tease, and that's what I think we're gonna go in with today. I also use this one fairly often. This is the drugstore like equivalent in my opinion to these. This is the NYX Line Out Loud lip pencil in shade Sassy. This can get very intense very fast, but it's perfect for the days where you want a bronzy, brown, warm look. It's beautiful and it's super creamy, which I can't do this and talk at the same time, so be right back. Okay, my lip liner is on and I just kind of like blend it out with my finger. And then I'm going to go in with the Dior, let's see, Addict Lip Glow in 38 Soft Nude. And I'm just gonna put this in the center of my lips. And those two together, they're just unmatched. Like, I can't. And if I want like super high shine, then I can go in with either one of these. This is the Tower 28, let's see, Lip Shine in Sesame. And this is Pat McGrath in, this is their lip gloss in Bronze Divinity, I believe. And sometimes I'll take just a little bit of this in the center, and it's just like, you see how it gives glitter? And this is the final look. This is my go-to bronze, warm, glowy look. And at this point, I'll give it like one more good set. And we're done. This is the final product and I'm obsessed. This is why it is my go-to look. I think it's so pretty, it's so bronzy, and this kind of look on anybody just looks amazing during the summer. So if you guys recreate it, please tag me. I want to see it. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.